on UME Radio. Get the UME Radio app.
Are you ready for the weekend?
Oh, yes, girl. Get your cup of tea and mic check, 1, 2. I am so ready.
To inspire, motivate, and educate. Weekends on UME Radio. The sun is up and so are we.
News, interviews, hot topics. Connect with us. Let us know what's on your mind. Follow, comment, subscribe.
We're everywhere. UME Radio app, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, iTunes, TuneIn, and all other digital platforms. Email us info@umeradio.com. On WhatsApp, 201-503-6731. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram and Facebook, all at UME Radio. Follow me, Jessie, on Instagram at ink.jess, that's ink.jess, and on Facebook at Jesselyn Abel, that's JESSELYNE, Abel, ABEL.
And follow me, Marsha J, on all social media platforms at official Marsha J. Or you can just check out marshajnow.com.
Weekends on UME Radio with Marsha J and Jessie.
Amplifying the voice of positive influencers.
UME Radio. Positive entertainment 24/7. Subscribe on YouTube and click the notification bell.
Hello, welcome everyone.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I am doing well. It's Saturday morning. It's another Saturday morning, and we are here live once again.
Guys. And we just want to say welcome to Weekends with Marsha J and Jessie. Ooh, we are looking for a really good episode today.
Yes, definitely.
And I just want to let you know, I'll just preface this. If you guys hear me sniffling and stuff, I have allergies. And it has been, even the start in the morning, quite a whirlwind with them. So,
wow.
Yeah, just so you guys know, apologize about all the sniffling.
Understood for real.
But yeah, we just want to say welcome. Thank you so much to our partners, supporters, listeners, and viewers from all around the world. We'll be having conversations that will help you, so please join us in the comment section down below. If you need advice or answers to a question to help you grow, leave it in the comment section or just email us at info@umeradio.com. It is our hope that this family program will be a resource for you. Marsha J. And it is May 15th, 2021, Inside Child's Month, celebrating International Family Day. The time is now 8:06 in the morning. Again, thank you so much for those who are joining in. We are live right now, and we want to say hello to everyone, wherever you guys are tuning in from. Yeah, comment in the comment section down below where you guys are tuning in from, because I love to see everyone joining in. Yes. And if you guys don't know, we're not just on YouTube, right, Marsha?
Definitely. We can be heard on the following platforms. So don't worry if you feel like, oh, I can't connect with you here and there. We are literally everywhere. So we can be heard on the following apps. We have the Apple Store app, Google Play Store, iTunes Podcast, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Google Podcast, Podbean, TuneU, Live 365, Spotify, Stitcher, Player FM, and Listen Notes. And definitely, you know how we like to add value to anything and everything that we do. And so you can go to www.umeradio.com/deals, because we want to make sure that our community is properly furnished with all the best deals that there is. Don't you just like being a part of UME Radio family? Yes, you do. And so with that being said, Jessie, tell us what's coming up on today's podcast.
All right, so today we're going to start off with our morning devotion with Minister Marsha J, and we're going to talk about Shining Star, courtesy of our Daily Bread. We're going to hop over to the news, the front page of the New York Times, Caricom, and AfricanNews.com with a special highlight highlighting the Israeli and Palestine conflict. We have our recurring awesome guest, Coach Raquel, who is going to talk about her Black Enterprise series. After that, we're going to go into our live segment. You guys know we're all about lifestyle. We're all about, wellness and wealth mindset. So we're going to talk about that down there. Summer tips, we got to get our bodies right for the summer if we're going out places, I think, hopefully. So we got to share some tips with you guys and some 4 ways to our voice of truth, where today we're going to celebrate International Day of Families and our awesome Ray of Hope feature. Stay tuned for that. 9:45, we're going to do Because of You We Can, our top 10 charities changing the world. And an awesome, we love to change the world, not just in giving, but also in talent and music. We have our talent segment at 10:05, and we're going to be talking with Kate Anthony. We have our competition DJ playlist, and we're going to move on to travel from music to words with our travel segment, and we're going to talk about prepping for a trip to New York, summer travel tips. And then last but not least, we're going to wrap things up with our awesome other competition, quiz competition. This time we're going to do categories, which was so much fun last week, Marsha.
Yes, it was, Jessie. Yes, it was.
Yes, and last but not least, our picture of the day, which is Black love.
Awesome. And right after our podcast, we have a brand new program, guys, that you have to tune into. You do know that UME Radio is a family station, and particularly our morning show. And so we have coming on board this morning, UME Radio Kids podcast with Auntie Jody, and we will hear from her at some point today. So we are looking forward to an awesome day. Now, today's devotional is courtesy of our Daily Bread, and today's topic is shining stars. Can you type that in the comments? Shining stars. So our text for today comes from Philippians 2 and verses 15 to 16. And I'm going to slow it right down because some of us are still having coffee in the morning. Mm-hmm. So it says, you will shine among them like stars in the sky as you hold firmly to the word of life. You will shine among them as stars in the sky as you hold firmly to the word of life. And of course, this morning's devotional again is courtesy of our Daily Bread. So here's the story. I can close my eyes and go back in time to the house where I grew up. I remember stargazing with my father. We took turns squinting through the telescope, trying to focus on glowing dots that shimmered and winked. These pinpricks of light, born of heat and fire, stood out in sharp contrast to the smooth ink black sky. Do you consider yourself to be a shining star? I'm not talking about reaching the heights of human achievement, but standing out against a dark background of brokenness and evil. The Apostle Paul, he told the Philippian believers that God would shine in and through them as they held firmly to the word of life and avoided grumbling and arguing. See, our unity with other believers and our faithfulness to God can set us apart from the world. The problem is that these things really don't come naturally. We consistently strive to overcome temptation so that we can maintain a close relationship with God. We wrestle against selfishness to have harmony with our spiritual brothers and sisters. But still, there is hope. Alive in each believer, God's Spirit empowers us to be self-controlled, to be kind, and to be faithful. And we can read about the fruits of the Spirit in Galatians 5, verses 22 to 23. Just as we are called to live beyond our natural capacity, God's supernatural help makes this possible. If every believer became, quote unquote, a shining star through the power of the Holy Spirit, just imagine how the light of God would repel the darkness around us. And here's our reflection for today. What causes your light to dim? What do you need in order to brighten it? Loving God, we ask your Spirit to empower us to shine in the darkness. Make us into people who are known for love of others and faithfulness to you. Can we pray? Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this gorgeous day. You are absolutely amazing, and we love you for it. Your word says that your mercies are new every morning, and we are constantly in gratitude and acknowledgement of that. Father, we pray this morning based on your word that you will allow us to trust you in the different seasons, trust you in our different processes, God, as we do what it is that you have called us to do. Help us to shine in dark places and not be intimidated by what we see or feel or think. God, we surrender our entire being to you. Lord, we ask this morning that as we start this program, that you will take full control. Lord, we pray for the team, God, that you will continuously bless them. We pray for the different guests that will come on this morning. We pray even for our very viewers who will be watching, and we pray that they will be edified and lifted from whatever place that they are. God, you are amazing, and we give you thanks, and we leave it all in your hands. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. Powerful, powerful, powerful. All right. So, Jesse, you're still there? Yes?
I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay.
All right. So the time is now 8:15. And of course, that was today's devotional complement of our daily bread. And now we check with Jesse for what's going on the front page of the New York Times. Over to you, Jessie.
We have the New York Times front page up, and if we make this a little bit bigger, okay. So the first big topic of the headline, which also is our highlight for today, surge in violence drowns out calls for claim in Israel. Vigilante attacks and West Bank clashes as threats grow in Gaza conflict. And if we could scroll down, can we make it a little bigger? Oh, thank you. Cairo, violence between Israelis and Palestinians expanded in new directions on Friday, with deadly clashes convulsing the occupied West Bank and anti-Israel protests erupting along Israel's borders with two Arab neighbors. The waning sense of mayhem in Israel and the Palestine territories came as Israeli airstrikes brought mass evacuations and funerals to Gaza, and as Hamas rockets singed in Israeli towns for a fifth consecutive day. And if we scroll right at the screen there is the picture of the grounds and a soldier with a tank behind him in the background of what's going on. If we scroll down to learn more about what's going on the front page, beneath folksy demeanor, deliberative Biden. And this article is by Michael D. Shear, and that states the commander-in-chief was taking his time as usual. It was late March. President Biden was under increasing pressure to penalize Vladimir Putin of Russia for election interference and the biggest cyber attack ever on American government and industry. I have to do it relatively soon, he said to Jake Sullivan, his national secretary advisor. Other headlines are flummoxed U.S. sorts out mask policies. A nun's word of comfort, you are going to die. Detainees deal spares CIA court testimony about torture. States unleash legislative blitz to curb big tech, setting internet limits as Congress did theirs. And that is what's going on the front page of New York.
Thank you, Jessie. And going over to Caricom, and we have the Caricom news courtesy of Caricom News, today.caricom.org. Let's see what's going on their front page. So we have St. Lucia Development Bank becomes first financing partner of CRAF. And for those who don't know what that is, it's credit risk abatement facility to benefit SMEs or small medium enterprise. Also on the front page, hold on so that I can pull it up. Statement from the chairman of the Caribbean community, Dr. Honorable Keith Rowley, Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, on the selection of the new Caricom Secretary General, right? Current chair of Caribbean community, Dr. Keith Rowley, Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. 24th meeting of the Council to Foreign Community Relations, virtual 6th to 7th of May 2021 communique. So I think that's a recap. And International Girls' Day in ICT 2021. And there is a press statement on the 14th special meeting of the Conference Heads of Government. And before we scroll, statement on volcano activity. It's been a while. Volcano activity in St. Vincent and the Grenadines by Chair of the Caribbean Community, Dr. Honorable Keith Rowley, Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. Hi, Keith. We see you. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Could you please scroll? Thank you so much. All right. Caricom at work. So we mentioned International Girls' Day in ICT. CDB-EU, CROSQ, enabling greater market access, efforts being made to promote a results-oriented culture in the region, and call for submissions of Caricom Energy Knowledge Hub. Can you scroll down one more time? Yes, and that's it for the front page of the Caricom News, compliments of caricom.org. And now we go over to Africa News. Jesse, every time I read the Africa News, I get tongue-tied with all of these awesome names. On the front page, and this is compliments of africanews.com, we saved nothing. Floods displaced hundreds in Burundi. And we have DRC's Teshi Segna. Wow. I'm sorry. I think I'm massacring the name. DRC's authorities, EU, Uganda troop deployed reports. We have South Africa. Magashule drags ANC to court. And we have Kenyan court quashes president's constitution change bid. And we in Mali, what's happening in Mali? We have Mali reinstates prime minister in a bid to usher in new cabinet. Can you scroll down, please? We have Ngozi to, oh yes, we just said that, Ngozi to make the WTO an organization, and African heads of states for May 18 Paris summit is on. Burna Boy, the first African artist with 1 million streams. And we have USA African American twin doctors fight racism. Isn't that awesome? And we're going down, we're scrolling down. All right, let me see if I can catch this here. Here we go. All right, and Madagascar ramps up COVID inoculations to suppress. Italy urges EU solidarity on migrants. Controversy over the location of Amazon African headquarters in Cape Town. And yes, we said that already. DRC president to renegotiate mining contracts. And then we have a few picks of the day. Yes. And these are from different places in Africa. In business, women managers in Djibouti keep different women money changers in Djibouti keeping things informal, assessing the impact of COVID-19, China-Africa economic relations, Southern African regions inaugurate milestone, and we have e-commerce. Can COVID grow to be sustained business in Africa? All right, can we scroll down some more, please? And we have a few video clips on the site. In sports, we have African players score Ajax closer to season win in Democratic Republic of Congo. All right. So names, Democratic Republic of Congo names Hector Cooper Leopards coach. In boxing, Saudi authorities want overseas fans to attend the Joshua versus the Fury bout. And in France, Mayonette, humble electrician, plays in French semi-final. That's awesome. That's awesome. And those are the major news between New York front page, caricom.com, and of course in Africa. But Jesse, today we want to highlight the Israel-Palestinian conflict. Tell me your thoughts about that.
Could you guys hear me now? Okay, I think my mic was muted before.
Yes.
I know a lot of people just scrolling through the internet and stuff like that, they were saying that these are the end times and everything like that. And I'm really saddened by it. I do know that just scripture-wise, that he said that once there's peace in the Middle East, that's when you know that it's really, he's really coming, and clearly there's not peace yet. So it is towards there, but I don't think he's, going to come tomorrow. But I think this is something that we have to remember, that this has been going on for God knows how long, literally centuries,
Yes.
And I think it's a critical movement. It's a critical turning point to see where this is going to go, how this is going to fall out, because honestly, I agree that, this fighting needs to stop, and it's just over land. I know it's religious,
exactly.
but I know it has, its religious counterparts to it. At the same time, come on, guys, it's like, I'm frustrated, but
I know
this is
the
not my
feeling,
culture.
and
It's not my I don't know, 2 cents to chime in,
and here are my thoughts on it. So here on UME Radio, one of the things that we talk about is ownership, and not just ownership because you say so, but ownership and ensuring that there is security in what it is that you own. Today being International Family Day, and the fact that this war that's going on between Israel and Palestine is really a family conflict somewhat. And Coach Raquel is going to come on a little bit after this to talk about Black enterprising, because it is so critical that for us as people of color, that we really pay attention to everything that is happening. Sometimes we see things happening, but we don't take the time to really investigate the details of it. But as you said, Jesse, this really is a family feud. And it's a family feud that has gone so bad that now we're wondering, is there hope? Can this really be sorted?
Right.
Where did it go wrong where family was concerned? That these two nations, these two families are literally, they have passed, during family feuds, how you would have sibling rivalries and it's mostly a verbal confrontation. But no, it's gone really far now.
It's gone.
We're now dropping bombs.
Right. And now,
We're
at what
dropping bombs.
point are other countries supposed to come in and be like, okay, stop it? But then if one country sides with another, then it's a whole other thing of, why did you side with this country versus that one? It's like, I don't know if we should get involved with a conflict that's not, I don't know. I'm very...
It's complicated. It's complicated. And that's why I'm absolutely happy to have Coach Raquel having a conversation with us this morning about her series that she has currently started. But tell us a little bit more about Coach Raquel for those who are watching for the very first time.
All right, guys, if you guys don't know, you haven't been on or listening to UME Radio, she's our awesome recurring guest, Coach Raquel, and she's a proven strategist and is a beneficiary of the Cornell Bank of America Women's Entrepreneurship at Cornell University, where she completed certification in entrepreneurship. She is also a certified career coach. As a child, Coach Raquel endured the countless challenges of poverty firsthand, which ultimately shaped her into the compassionate, courageous individual she is today. And in overcoming such hardships, she has become adept at helping others avoid these and other pitfalls of career and life and step into their best versions possible. Above all, with over 15 years of leadership experience, she is a true advocate of positive change in the 21st century, helping individuals and companies achieve their goals. And we want to welcome Coach Raquel back onto our show. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi, Jesse. Thank you so much. Hello, Marsha J. Good morning. Can you both hear me clearly?
Yes, we can. Thank you so much for coming on.
It's such a pleasure. It's my absolute pleasure to be here today with you.
Okay.
So, I heard you speaking about the what is happening in Israel.
Yes.
Yeah. If I may add to that, I have a very difficult time, and I so understand where. I mean, I could feel Jess's pain, and she expressed herself like,
I try.
helpless, like, should we care? Should we not care? How do we care? What do we do? You know, like, you care, but you don't even know, how do I even actively or proactively care?
Right.
Though I care. And I think that is something that truly happens in families. And it is the reason we're talking about the Black family enterprise, the Black family experience, you know, because I've had the experience where I have felt like I've had things happen to me. I've seen things happen, and I've often wondered, why isn't someone stepping in? Why isn't someone doing something? Why do we sit back and watch these people kill themselves? In the end, it's going to impact us as well. And I understand the struggle and the challenge. How do we get to a place where we can become that community that with an enabling environment to support? I believe that we should support even at the cost of ourselves, even at the cost of our own lives, because there's feedback. Because at the end of the day, whether we step in or we don't step in, it will impact our lives. And it's going to impact our lives in terrible ways sometimes. But I so understand the, how do I even get involved here? How do I even, you know? And that's why what I'm about to share, I believe, is very important. I'm just going to be sharing a clip with you of an episode of Finding Happy. I've started the dialogue around Black family enterprise, and I want to also go into the Black family experience in business. Because it's important. How do we engage, or how do we manage our communities? Economics. So Jesse, in a lot of ways, economics oftentimes can help address some of the issues that we're having. And I guess the fights too sometimes come because of economics.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. And so how do we use that economics, the economy to also bring peace? Can we have a system where our economy brings us peace as opposed to war and fighting? So in the Black family, what I'm promoting is cohesiveness, community, family. They say the family is the first institution in the society. And so it tells me that it is the most critical, right? And so it's the first place, I believe, that we go to resolve issues. It's the first place we go to solve problems. It's the first place we go to establish systems and paradigms and ways of life, right? And culture. And so sometimes to even address the issues, you have to go right back to the small institutions, the families, and go through that in order to, because it's families that connect, right? That it expands into a society. It starts with family, and then this family connects with that family. You have the extended family, and then it expands, right? So I think we have to go all the way back to that. And before I play the clip, I just want to share this. When I think about being Black, and I'm saying this because I want it to be clear that it's Black power that I'm talking about Black family power, Black family enterprise. And before I can even talk about that, I have to first assess for myself. When I think Black, what comes to my mind? Because how I think about being Black will determine how I treat the family enterprise, whether I even recognize there's a family enterprise, whether or not I try to create a family enterprise. Everything starts with how I feel about being Black. And so Black means three things to me personally. And I invite you to just make a note of three things it means to you. And I hope Jessie and Marsha J can share with you when they're done, and you can type yours in the comment section. But here are my three. Being Black means to me, one, being different and loving it. Being different. I am not the same as you are. I don't look like you. I am not you. I am me. I am all me. And I'm proud of it. I love being different. Number two, to me, being Black means being strong. And I'm not talking about breaking things or lifting things. I'm talking strength of character. I'm talking strength of spirituality. I'm talking strength of culture. I'm talking strength in sense of self. I am strong. And my kind of strong is powerful. That's the power that I have in me. The power of God in me is that strength that I have. So being different, being strong, and number three, oh my goodness, being outstanding. Being Black makes me outstanding. You can't miss me in a room. You know, it makes me colorful and talented, and it makes me flavorful. I stand out, you know, just like our cultures stand out. So those are the three things being Black means to me: being different and proud of it, being strong in God and all that I am, and being outstanding wherever I am. That's what being Black means to me. And now I want to share this clip with you, which I hope will be useful to you. And I hope the information shared will edify. So here we go, Black Family Enterprise. I'm going to keep reading. The rate of Black business creation continued to rise and fall throughout the 20th and 21st century, increasing in the 90s, dipping during the 2008 recession, and rising again post-recession. In recent years, the number of Black-owned businesses have risen dramatically, with Black women fueling much of that growth. And that's right. And both things that I just read came from Forbes.com. And I wanted to share these because of the things that the next point I want to bring about, I want to zone in on as well, is Black women fueling much of that growth. I just want us to think about it. Yes? I want to share something with you from the Jamaica Observer website. Renowned Jamaican scientist and business owner Dr. Henry Lowe bemoaned the fact that Black Jamaicans needed to create a culture of business ownership similar to the Chinese and the Indians. It was so interesting to me when he said Black Jamaicans, right? And rightly so. And here's a quote. Most of the Black population never saw themselves as being business people. It was always about being a civil servant or a professional, like a doctor or lawyer, and that's it, he declared, concluding in a pointed quip, I have brains, so I will go for the professions, but wealth creation is not a part of me. Powerful quote. Powerful and very true. And it's not just Black Jamaicans, it's also Africans in America as well. Yes, we're still talking about Black family enterprise, the role of the man. Two factors have been deemed essential to a successful business launch and a firm's ultimate longevity: access to human capital and financial capital. Human capital refers to the personal characteristics that facilitate an individual's economic advancement, such as education and work experience, while financial capital represents formal and informal monetary resources that support the establishment and sustainability of a business. Another form of business capital that has been examined as an auxiliary resource is that of social capital. And that's why I'm sharing this particular one with you, social capital. Social capital refers to the networks and relationships that individuals form in a given society that aid in effective functioning or norms of reciprocity. The importance, one moment, I think my producer is saying something to me. Okay, So my guest will be late, no problem. Thank you. So we'll continue. I hope he shows up because I'd really like to have a conversation with Emil. The importance of human and financial capital to the entrepreneurial process is undeniable, but social capital is equally crucial to business success. Research has demonstrated that when compared to other minority business owners, Black entrepreneurs are at a social capital deficit or disadvantage. I would say deficit. Yeah. And this came from the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation report, The State of Black Entrepreneurship in America. And if you're honest with yourself, you can't disagree with this. If you're honest with yourself, this is not a bashing. This is a come to Jesus, come to honesty, come to realness, truth conversation. We need to have those true conversations because this has to change. It can't continue this way. It has to change, right? We're talking about Black family enterprise and the role of the man. And then I'm going to share something with you from the book, from the course that I'm writing. You will never get a result greater than the quality or quantity of your relationships. Never, ever, 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 ever. Yes? Let that sink in. Digest that. Yes? According to Jim Rohn, motivational speaker, and I agree with him. I'm not just sharing it because he said it, but I'm sharing it because I've experienced it, I believe it, and it is true. You are the average of the 5 closest persons to you, the people who you spend most of your time with. Let's say hello to who's calling me. Hi, Keith. Good morning. You're live on my show. Say hello to my listeners. Yes, you've been calling persistently, so I'm responding. Should there be an emergency? Because I'm assuming you know that I'm live today on Finding Happy, so.
It's funny because today I'm actually I don't work today, so I'm off. So,
well, join me because I'm a black person. A Black man was supposed to join me, but was not able to. So maybe you could be my guest today. Log on. Would you like to join me and be my guest today? There you go. The producer will send you the details. Well, thank you for calling.
all right.
Okay. There we go. So I have a guest. So producer, please connect him. So you are the average of the 5 closest people with whom you spend most of your time. Very, very important to note. It's very important, yes? Okay. So I want to also share this. When I think of Black family enterprise, these are some terms that come to my mind, and I think these are some terms should come to yours as well. And then I'm going to share a bit from my course again about relationships and how we choose them. Yes? Vision, trust, transparency, correction, purpose, divine purpose, willingness, perseverance, family first. I have grown to realize that when I think of marriage, what I really should have been thinking about were these words. Not so much the fantasy of it and the wedding and all of that. And I'm not saying those things are unimportant. You determine what's important to you. But to the success of any business, these things are critical. Which means that to the success of any marriage, any partnership, these things are important. So now when I think of marriage and I think of a partner, these are the things I'm thinking. Family first, perseverance, willingness, being willing, divine purpose. And divine purpose is number 1. They don't appear, the way they appear is not the level of importance, right? Divine purpose is number 1. Correction. I want to be with someone who holds me accountable holds me accountable to the best expression of myself. Yes? Transparency. I don't want to wonder. I don't want to wonder where you are because you should engage. I want you to engage me. Trust. Yes. And by trust, I mean truth, God's truth, not my truth or yours. Walk in God's truth. And we have to pray and ask God to make us strong for that, right? And vision. There must be vision before marriage. If you don't have a vision board, a family vision board, what are you doing walking down the aisle? And if any counselor lets you through the door without sitting with you to create, to at least guide you in creating a vision board, I would recommend you find a new one. Or maybe you need to meet a wedding coach, a life coach, in addition to a counselor. Because that's really not a counselor's job. A counselor's job really is to unearth, right, the potential in you, to help you unearth your potential. But what you do with that potential, a coach needs to guide. Every wedding couple, every couple preparing to get married must sit with a life coach. If not, what are you doing? Investing all this money in a day of expression for what? Just saying.
That's powerful. That is definitely powerful.
Yes. Do you have any questions for me?
I agree with everything.
Go ahead, Jessie. Go ahead.
Sorry, Han. But no, I agree with everything. I feel back to what previously when you asked 3 things that you defined as being Black, and thinking of it, a lot of them I was going to choose, and you said so. I would say the 3 things for me, I would say would be powerful, creative, and spiritual. Those would be my 3. And again, powerful, not meaning like I could pick things up and put it down, like not that type of strength. Which will be that's a bonus if our men could do that. Bonus to you guys. Yes. But those would be my 3.
Well, my 3 would be being Black means being authentic, tenacious, and strong.
Lovely.
Yes.
I like that.
Those are my 3 things about being Black. And I celebrated it's so weird. And we're wrapping up because this segment is pretty much up. But for me, I can just self-disclose for a quick second. Growing up, in school and so on, I was just not right for whether it was the teachers or my peers. And, just growing up and going through the whole process of understanding who I am as a person and the power of my skin color, because it's really powerful medically and otherwise, it really helps me. And along with coaching, and first of all, let me take this time to say, Coach, I hear you mentioned in your presentation that you're working on a book. Congratulations for that. And listen, if you are watching right now, I'm getting back to what I'm saying. You need to connect with Finding Happy every Thursday at 10 o'clock with Coach Raquel, because one of the powers of coaching, it really helps you to unearth what's already inside of you. And going through a whole process, it really helped to change my mindset about life and about how I would want my family. I'm not married yet. So about how I'd want my family to be, So Black enterprising is a powerful topic, and going through all of that and being here in 2021, it's an extremely relevant topic. You are the average of the 5 closest persons to you. And that being said, we really have to pay attention to where our life is now, why it is there, and is it because of that, among other factors. Coach Raquel?
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you. If I may just share this one thing before I go. They say broad road leads to destruction, right? And the way it is said sometimes can be so surface, but it's such an important thing. I want to challenge and caution people from my community to stop flowing in the free and easy. Stop flowing in the free and easy, because it's free flow and it's easy and I don't have to struggle. You see, what are you actively pursuing? The thing, marketing is a thing. I'm also a marketer, right? And we do these things called case studies and focus group and research. And we study you to find out what is it you like. And then that's what we bring to you. So you need to assess yourself and ask yourself, Where am I spending my time, and then why? Because many of us don't have the palette for good, positive information. And that's just the truth. So we reside and we flow in the salacious. Elevate yourself. Get out of the free flowing. Get into the intentional flow of your life, divine purpose. Yes. Thank you for having
True.
me.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you
for
so
being
much.
here. Awesome. You're about to say something, Jessie?
No, I just want to thank Coach for coming on, and I absolutely love her segment. It's always inspiring and motivational, and everything that we're about
Definitely.
on this show. Preface, I don't know, Marsha, if it's kind of annoying me. If you could hear lawnmower, I don't know if you can in my
No,
background, but
I can't.
you
You're
can.
good to go. You are
Okay,
good
because
to go.
it's going. So someone
And
decided to do that right now.
that's fine. That's fine. And so we turn our attention to wealth mindset, which is a set of beliefs, habits, and behaviors that separates the wealthy from everything else. Jessie, today you are going to tell us about 4 ways to stay safe in crypto.
Yes, guys. So if you guys don't know, crypto has been around for years, but it's really been highly seeked after um, these past couple of years, but especially during the pandemic. So if you guys have not heard of cryptocurrency, let me give you a brief preface of what it is about. So cryptocurrency is a form of payment that can be exchanged online for goods and services. Many companies have issued their own currencies, often called tokens, and these can be traded specifically for the good or service that the company provides. Think of them as you would arcade tokens or casino chips. You'll need to exchange real currency for the cryptocurrency to access the good or service. Now, here are 4 ways to stay safe during crypto. And if we scroll down, and keep on scrolling. So the first way is to be aware of the most common crypto scams. There are 3 main types of scams you will undoubtedly come across when starting in the crypto space. It's important to learn how to spot these scams before ending up a victim and potentially losing your assets. So there are fake crypto giveaways, trading bot scams, and if we scroll down a little bit more, and phishing emails. So for the fake crypto giveaways, crypto giveaway scams are online posts, usually on social media, that invite users to deposit crypto to an address with the promise that the sender will receive double or more back. This type of fraud has been around since the initial coin offering boom in 2017 and tends to abide by a very rigid format. These fake crypto giveaway scams are easy to spot once you know what to look for. So we have a picture in here of Elon Musk, quote unquote. That's a fake account, and we also have arrows pointing to another person saying, "I'm having a blast, sent received," and they're saying that to send money to an Ether address. Ethereum is a type of cryptocurrency, just like Bitcoin is a type of cryptocurrency. And that's another thing to look out. People have fake identities. Their giveaways are always fake, and they always promise more than what it typically is. And if we scroll down, there's a top tip. A little bit back up, please. Thank you. The top tip: the best way to spot a scam is to look for subtle changes to the profile's username, just like in the example above. The extra M is subtle and can be easily overlooked at a glance. Verified Twitter accounts also have blue check marks next to them to help users identify them. And I also want to make a personal thing. I don't know, I've seen it completely on Instagram, where people would message you, and people would even message in the comments of other celebrities that you may follow, the celebrities are verified. So people may think that, oh, this person's commenting under and this must be a real person. But you click on their profile and it's similar to that. You know, they don't have any posts or pictures. They somehow have a whole bunch of followers or a whole bunch of proof that other people have received the money, but it's just a completely scam. So if we scroll down to the second way to be safe, anyway, give us a moment, guys. Oh, we could talk. Sorry, guys, I didn't mention that. The trading bot scams, real quick. We can stay right here for now. So the trading bot scams, they involve platforms that promise users extremely high rates of return for every month, or ROI. And these are websites that operate as a Ponzi scheme, where money entering the scam is used to pay people who are already invested in the scam. Once the creators of the platform have accumulated enough funds, they usually disappear with the investors' money and close down the website. One of the most famous examples is BitConnect. And this platform promised investors 40% returns every month, as well as additional interest for people who invested larger amounts. And over 250 million was believed to have been stolen when the creators of BitConnect disappeared. And we could stop here real quick just to talk about the phishing emails. Phishing scams are becoming increasingly difficult to detect as malicious agents take greater care in creating seemingly real emails from legitimate companies. Many will encourage people to click on links that instantly infect the device with malware, giving the perpetrator full access to information stored on it. So guys, this has been going on for years, not necessarily even just in the cryptocurrency space, but I just do know, people with jobs or resetting passwords, or that similar thing, or there's a death in the family, I need you to send money over here ASAP, those types of things. And we have a comment that says, always do your own research before investing in any venture. Yes. And if you're unsure if a company is legit, whether it's cryptocurrency or anything, you could company has a website, contact them and ask them, hey, is this your real email address? And they will respond saying, no, this is not. Please alert the authorities or go through their system saying that this person is a scam, so that we're able to limit the scams that are going on and all these people that are doing that. If we could go, do we have some time to go through the other three ways real quick?
Yes, we can quickly though.
Okay, real quick. I need help with the scroll. Okay, second way, never make a digital copy of your personal crypto details. Taking a screenshot, using your phone, or copy and pasting in an email. Like if you need to, pen and paper, write it down somewhere, keep it safe, but don't make a digital copy because our devices can be hacked as well. Third way to be safe online with the cryptocurrency is always enable a two-factor authorization when possible, guys. So the 2FA, that, is a fingerprint, a pin, a little pattern that you have, as well as like they send you a text message or call your phone directly to know that it is you. I do that for all of my devices. Yep.
Understand. Can I interject? I know you're going to go to the last one, but I know for some persons it can be extremely frustrating when you go through all of these protection activities, but they are absolutely critical, especially trading in the online space or even having information. Even for myself being a former banker, before I actually was very aware of what's happening now, I've had clients who got robbed, and they were deceived. They sent money without receiving money, saying that they have to pay in order to, so it's extremely important take the time. It's for your own protection. Go ahead with the last one.
And the last one is just what you're going to say, Marsha. Use different passwords for every crypto platform you use.
Yes.
Like you said, it's annoying with all these. You got passwords for your phone, your email, the other emails if you have businesses. You know, Netflix and every site has a password and email. To remember all of them, but you know, you need to be protective. I know there's different apps and stuff on your computer to save, you know, the passwords, but even if you do that, try to change it up every, I don't know, 2-3 months or something like that, or even once a month,
Yes.
for a lot of your more, how do I say, secure information that you have to do, especially with banking. You know, I changed my password with that multiple times.
For sure. Thank you for that, Jessie. Awesome tips and very relevant, very, very relevant, especially in a time like this that persons will be investing and trading, especially for those, because we know that one of the financial rules is you need to have at least 3 to 6 months worth of your salary in order to survive in case of an emergency. And most times people want their money to grow. And we know that a regular interest rate account doesn't allow for it. So when we decide to take it a step further by investing, what we're doing is actually helping ourselves, but also in helping ourselves, we have to protect ourselves. And that's taking the time. And so we have organizations like FTC that will bring their information from time to time. Listen, we have to protect our futures. We have to protect our legacies. And so let's always be focused and bear these things in mind because they are absolutely important. Anything in the comments, Jessie?
We have MIM Masterclass saying, love this, Jessie. Thank you. You are so welcome. I found this and I'm like, everyone needs to know. We also have another comment saying, very important info and timely. And again, always do your own research before investing in any venture.
Powerful, very powerful segment. Thank you for that, Jessie, for sure. So now we turn to wellness, which is the act of practicing healthy habits on a daily basis to attain better physical and mental health outcomes. So instead of just surviving, guys, we want to thrive. We want to glow. And so we're constantly moving and shifting things around. So to understand the significance of wellness, it's important to understand how it is linked to our health. And now we're going to be sharing 7 tips for a fit summer body. Jessie, are you ready for summer?
I am so ready. So ready.
All right. So let's look at 4 quick tips for summer. All right, guys. So my screen is small today, so I need to enlarge it. One moment, please. All right. Here we go. All right, so summer is a time for fun and sun. And yes, we have been locked up in the house way too long. All right, so it's for vacations, barbecues, parties, and drinking. So while we should relish these activities during this time of the year, it's often difficult to maintain a fit body during these months. And it's important to make sure that your health doesn't suffer along the way. How many of us have really gained weight by staying inside? I've heard the complaints, Jessie. I don't know about you. All right. And so we're going to look at 7 tips for building and maintaining a summer body. So the first one we need to do is to eat right. Your diet should consist of lots of fruits and vegetables. And this is according to the Harvard School of Public Health. And you should be eating 9 servings of fruits and veggies per day. And Jessie, I know you're in medicine, so you can chime in on this. Equivalent to 2 cups of fruit and 2.5 cups of vegetable per day. This is a minimum estimation that you should be able to eat as many fruits and veggies as you desire. All right, so that's the first thing. We need to be eating right. And eating right too, Jessie, it has to do with also eating on time.
Yep.
On time. That's critical. That's critical. All right, so eating right, it takes discipline and awareness. I know for those of us who eat organic or naturally, it takes time to prep.
Mhm.
Especially if we're not going to be eating on the road and things like that. It takes time, but it is absolutely worth it. But it doesn't mean that you can't ever have your favorite foods like a hamburger, a cookie, or even potato chips, right? It means you are consistently putting healthy foods in your body. You will notice how much better you feel. Because you are eating healthy and clean. After a while, you might not crave that hot dog like you did before. And one of the things I know that persons do in terms of their eating habits is actually do what's called a fast. A
Yeah.
fast, right? And there are different types of fast, and we have intermittent fasting. You know what? I'm going to invite someone on to talk about that. And for some persons, medical, it's okay. Listen, whatever we talk about on this program in this segment, it is not gospel. And we always advise you to go and talk
Yes.
to your medical health profession before you do
Mhm.
anything at all. All right. Because we want to make sure that all our listeners and viewers are in tip top shape, even with the advice that we are giving. 2, eat light. Don't starve yourselves. Jesse, from your perspective, your medical perspective, what happens to the body when we decide to starve ourselves?
Okay, guys. So I'm still a student. I do have a BA in bio and everything like that. But at least just from my perspective, both educationally and personally, your body then tends to literally consume itself and use the fat that you have. Kind of think of like a animal hibernating, I mean, we're all animals, but and use our own storage to hibernate, and it eventually attacks itself to the point where your body would not give your brain won't have the signals to eat, period. And your caloric intake will slowly just diminish over time, and
Mhm.
you won't have the energy to consume your normal 2,000 calories.
Yes.
um and that's really harmful for your body because you're depriving your body of any nutrients or vitamins that it needs slowly, and it's your body's kind of doing like a psychological like shift. And the
Right.
more that you're in this state, the more you will eventually lose weight. Um, and God forbid, there we could talk about people who have eating disorders, anorexia, for example. So it's you guys really, and it's key to do it on time. And I say this as a personal thing. I'm on
Mm.
my own fitness journey, and the key for a while, I never honestly, Marsha, got the signal to snack. I either
Mhm.
did breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and it was like big, big, big. But
Wow.
I realized that the way my body, for me to like put on the muscle and weight that I wanted, I
Mhm.
had to train my body, and working out helps because it makes you more hungry.
Mm. That's
Train
true.
my body to snack and take like every 2 to 3 hours. Okay, here's a snack. Okay, here's a snack.
Right.
Here's a
So,
snack.
yeah.
Instead of having big meals, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm full. I don't have to eat till 6. So, and it's a tough thing, but I'm getting there. But
So,
every 3 to 4 hours, you should be at least having a snack and then have a big
right.
meal.
Which really matches up with this article because it says to eat light. So if you are
Mhm,
hungry, your body is actually telling you to eat, guys, but try to
mhm.
concentrate on how much you eat, right?
Yep.
So I remember at one point in my own wellness journey that there was a season when I was in the gym, and
Mhm.
I was surprised when the nutritionist said to me, okay, so you're going to be eating 7 times for the day. I was like,
Yep.
what? But she
Yep.
says, don't get don't get frustrated too quickly. It's really portions, right? And then
Yes.
she went ahead, started to teach me how to organize my portions and how to make sure that I'm eating smaller portions, but I'm getting everything that I needed. And if there's something that I couldn't have because I had an allergy to a particular thing, for instance,
Mhm.
we know that omega-3s come from fish, and if I was allergic to fish, then she would suggest a supplement. So
Right.
totally necessary, right? So eating a large breakfast and smaller portions throughout the day, eating this way can be beneficial, especially if you are looking to shed pounds or get more toned. You said something interesting, Jesse, that you're on your own fitness journey. But yes, guys, you can also choose to either gain, lose, or maintain. So
Yeah.
it really is a thing. So just because you are eating smaller meals doesn't mean you shouldn't care about what you are eating. So it's actually the quality of foods, right? And we know that there are 7 major food groups. We're not going to go through that today, but you can always Google it and find out what they are and just ensure that you are including them in your diet. I know some persons don't like water. I know some persons don't like veggies, but they are absolutely necessary for that summer body. All right, we're going to scroll down. Please, I just spoke about water. We are talking about hydrate. Hydrate. It is warm. Well, it is warm where I am. I'm not sure where you're watching from this morning, but it's important to drink enough water. This is especially necessary during the summer months. So, according to the American Heart Association, staying hydrated is critical for your heart, right? So, keeping the body, and I quote, hydrated helps the heart easily pump blood throughout the body. Through the blood vessels, to the muscles, and it helps the muscles work efficiently. Right. So having water is necessary. So the amount of water that you drink depends on many different variables. A useful way to test if you are drinking enough water is to pay attention to your urine.
Urine.
Yes. If it is darker, then you aren't drinking enough. Also pay attention to how often you go to the bathroom. You don't want to drown yourself because that can have negative consequences as well. But you want to ensure that you are properly hydrated, right? So if you're planning on spending a lot of time in the sun, guys, counteract dehydration symptoms with lots of water. And if you don't like natural water, there is coconut water. And we have melons that have water in it, especially for those of us who have eczema and so on. I absolutely love cold oranges. I'd have those in the summer because it's around summertime. But because of eczema, I can't have citrus. So my doctor says, go out and have some melons. Melon is quite refreshing. I think so. So it's really important when you plan on drinking alcohol or any other liquids that can lead to dehydration. Can you imagine? Those liquids lead to dehydration. Always have enough water available during the summer months, no matter what you are doing. All right. 4, we have exercise. Yes. So we were not made. Could you scroll down, please? We weren't made to be sedentary, right? So try to get as much exercise as you can. There are so many ways you can exercise effectively during the summer months. Now let's talk about that for a little bit. Exercise. Jesse, I know you are on your own journey. What are some of the exercises that you do?
So I do lower body and upper body. I interchange them every other day. Some of them for lower body, I do a lot of squats. I do a lot of lunges. A lot of deadlifts with dumbbells. Now I'm not doing no 50-pound. I'm keeping it really light. I'm a small person, if you guys don't know. So I keep it very light, and I will build my muscle over time. But I usually do between 2 10 pounds, or depending on the exercise, I would do like 2 20s. But outside of that, what else you guys could do? You got your kickbacks. I don't know if you guys know, like leg kickbacks or donkey kicks. That's one of them. Crunches. I know people like them. Planks, which I have a love-hate relationship for. Those are some of the exercises that I'm doing. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, and one of the more simpler ones that I think people underestimate, Jesse, is the power of walking.
Yeah.
It really does work, and maybe we should do like a wellness challenge next week, Jesse. I need to write this down somewhere. Like try walking for
Because
30 days. Like try tracking how your body's feeling now. And then we're gonna walk for at least 30 minutes because based on research, anything under 30 minutes in terms of movement, it doesn't really do much for your body. So try walking for 30 minutes every day or at least 3 times a week for the next 30 days. And then we could actually, have a conversation
get
about
back with you
that as to,
guys. Yep.
yeah. And it's pretty much good for your lungs and good for your entire being and your body, especially if
Yep.
you're an asthmatic, because I am an
Same.
asthmatic, and I
Hmm.
realize that walking does help. It really
Yeah.
does. So let's
And
not
it's also really good for
underestimate the
your
power
for
of exercise. Now we're going to
yeah.
scroll down to the next one, and it says focus on the core. Focus on the core. So, just as the foundation keeps a house strong and solid, the core keeps your body strong and solid. Jesse, where is the core of your body?
Right. Right.
I think she's frozen. I think she's
Do you hear
frozen.
me?
But the core of your body is actually your midsection. So, like from your chest
Midsection.
going down to like under your belly, and that's your core. So
Mm-hmm.
even through core training, even though core training is a form of exercise in itself, it deserved its own point of emphasis. Yeah. So whether you are trying to form a six-pack,
You good, Marsha?
hello, can you hear me?
Hey. Yep. I can hear you. We can hear you.
Oh, awesome, awesome. Because I feel like we're frozen on screen, so I'm just checking. I'm
Oh,
just
I
checking.
hear.
Jesse.
I think
All right.
I think you're frozen. I can hear you fine, but your picture
Yeah, let
looks
us know
like
in the comments, guys. Are we frozen? It
yeah.
seems as if we are frozen. But if you can hear us, let us know that you can hear us
Oh,
too, because that's
yeah.
awesome. All right. So let's continue talking about the core, because if you and I can hear it, then I'm assuming that they can hear as
Yep.
well. So keeping your entire body together. If the core is weak, then your entire body is going to suffer, along with normal exercise you do throughout the week. Add in some core exercise at least 3 to 4 times a week. And guys, listen, core exercises are not the easiest to do, like your sit-ups or your leg
Mm-hmm.
lifts or things like that. But there are some exercises you can do standing, so you can always get your fitness consultation. And definitely within our network, we have like Althea who does fitness, and she'll be able to give you like a 45-minute free consultation, guys. So you can log into our UDMI website, have a conversation with her, and she will help you. As a matter of fact, in the comments, I'm seeing Apostle Walters, and she's done some work with her just to talk about core fitness and things like that, and overall weight loss, because it doesn't have to be hard. So whether you're a young person or you are more older, youthful, that's what I like to call it, Jesse, you can do simple things to make sure. And your core also helps with your back. So those of you who have back issues, very, very, very important. All right. So we're almost there. We're going to be looking at limiting alcohol. I know for some persons, a little wine is good for the stomach's sake, but this one can be tough, especially during the summer months. I know I know how nice it is to sit around outside during the summer. Yes, and enjoy some adult beverages, especially if you go to weddings and things like that, cocktails and so on and so forth. This is an enjoyable part of summer that you should take advantage of, but try to limit how much you drink and pay attention to what you drink. If you're concerned with your body more than the limit of the beer you drink, then you are absolutely in a huge problem.
Marsha, you there? I think Marsha just got cut off for a quick second, but if you guys can hear me, put a thumbs up or just type in the comments you guys can hear me so I know. But we're going to talk about, yeah, she was talking about limiting with alcohol. And I know that it's really hard, guys. But, if you're concerned about it, there's other ways to go about having a refreshing beer that's, filled with empty calories, or, okay, great. You guys can hear me. Perfect. But you want to watch out for your liquors, for your rums, for your hard liquors that have added sugar. You can have that every once in a while. I'm not saying it's fine, but you could also just swap that for light liquors, such as gin and vodka, are probably your safest bet if you plan on drinking often throughout the summer. And last but not least, the final tip, guys, and this is something that we should not just do during the summer, but also during just everyday life, is listen to your body. When your body tells you to get some rest, get some rest. Your body knows your body needs rest. And make sure that you have plenty of rest. Don't stay up late all the time partying. Get enough sleep. At the same time, don't work out, insanely, don't go overboard. Even if you're working out and you feel like, okay, this is my arm day or whatever, and you're like, you know what, I can't do it right now. Give your body time to rest. Find a balance between exercising and resting, and your body will thank you. And actually, during exercise, rest is very important for your body, because that is the time when your muscles actually begin to grow during the resting part. So rest is very, very important, guys. So as we wrap up our wellness segment, we're going to head to our awesome spotlight for today. And our spotlight feature is an outreach community development empowerment in Mount Vernon. We have that coming up. All right,
Learn how to achieve your fitness goals with Althea. Experience targeted personal training programming that focuses on building your strength.
All right, guys, can you hear me? Are we having any technical? Hi, good morning, Apostle Faith Walters. How are you today?
I'm doing fine, thank you. Good morning, everyone. Great to be here on the show today.
Good morning. So if you guys don't know,
because I'm always on the show.
I know if you guys don't know, if you guys are listening right now, Apostle Walters is absolutely beautiful. She has her red blazer with some pearls,
yes,
and her glasses on. It's cute. It's so cute. So if you guys don't know, Apostle Faith Walters is founder and chief executive officer of Women and Men of Excellence Outreach Ministries since 2017, and she has been a Democratic district leader. And today we're going to talk about, it's been a while since you've been on the show, Apostle. Can you tell us what's been going on? Because last time you were here was around.
Well, let me make a correction. Okay, let me make a correction. You said I started my ministry in 2017. No, it's been since 2006. So I have been doing this for 15 years, going on 15 years. And I'm just excited about what God continues to do in this ministry. I want to say again, good morning to everyone. And thank you so much again for inviting me to come and speak on your show. Of course, as I said before, I am a guest, almost a weekly guest, if you put it. And what we've been doing, coming up, is our community outreach drive, and that will be on Tuesday. That's, I think, in about a week or so. Tuesday, May 25th, from 12 to 3 p.m. We give out packages, food packages to the community, because I believe a church should be not only about just providing the spiritual word, not just giving the word of God or teaching the word of God. We're supposed to also do, because the Bible says faith without works is dead. And we have to be a giving church. And I believe when you feed the community, feed the people in the community, because what I've realized over the years, that there are many churches in many communities, but it's unfortunate a lot of these churches don't connect to the people in the community. And that is very strange. That's very awkward, because I feel if you're in the community, the people in the community should know that you're there. So even if they go to a different church or not, it should make a difference. Your presence, you going out, reaching out to them, do something on a weekly basis or a monthly basis, wherever the Lord leads you, or a daily basis, to let them know that you're there. Because you can't just keep giving spiritual food all the time. People are hungry.
Yep.
Now, people are hungry. We know people are hungry for the word. And we know people are always hungry for food. Because a lot of times people have many families. They can't feed a lot of children, and a lot of them they go without food. Some of these parents, as I realize, even the quarantine, some of these parents go without eating so they can feed their children. I mean, that shouldn't be. If you have a church in the community, the church is supposed to be an outreach center, a center where it's a giving station. We shouldn't always have to depend on the government to be helping not only your parishioners in your church. You got to go beyond the church building and to reach out, because the Bible says when you consider the poor, you will always be blessed. And these are scriptures that I live by, because this is so pertinent to advance your spiritual walk with the Lord. And it's a good feeling. It does wonders for you when you do that. It puts a smile on your face and make the hero things in your head, they just spike up, and it makes you feel good. And when you're helping and reaching out to others, that's a plus. And Jesus really he admires that. It said, he gonna say, well done. You speak the least of these. Well done, good and faithful servant. Thank you. You did it to the least of these, so you did it to me. So when you're reaching out, you are also touching lives through Jesus Christ. And as you are reaching out to them, Jesus is doing the same, because he's working through you to connect to them.
Yes.
So go ahead.
Oh, I also wanted your opinion on this. Earlier in the show, Coach Raquel, we brought up the power of Black family enterprise and the importance of Black people as a community, but also as a family, to go through counselings. I know you also offer counseling sessions for everyone. You talk a little bit about why we need that individually, but also as a community, and the power of it as well. Because I feel like that's also a way to reach people.
Yes, that's key as well. Okay, when you're in Christ, your head got to be checked as well. You have to have a head check, okay, because everything is all connected. All right, and when your head ain't right, the rest of your body ain't right. Okay, and I heard you were talking about nutrition earlier, and how important it is to sleep, exercise, and things like that. That's all part. It all starts in the head. All starts in the mind. Everything. So healing begins in the mind. So it all connects and trickles out to every part of your body. And our community needs a lot of healing. Okay, and we have so many different things going on. We have so many problems in our community, and it's all stemmed from how the family structure, how much we as a parent or a mom or a dad instill something positive in the child. And a lot of us, we're not reading the Bible or praying to the children. That helps with helping the mind. Because I know sometimes if I'm going through things and sometimes you probably call people and nobody did the answer phone, you could always talk to God, and you could always open the Word of God, and something out of it always come and touch you and bring you back to some normal. Because we have so much people out here that's doing all kind of crazy things. A lot of crazy things happening because their mind is not right. And also with this pandemic, it has brought on so much anxiety issues, a lot of worrying. And that does a lot to the brain as well. That does a lot to the mind. When you keep worrying and stressing yourself out, you're sick, and a lot of what's going on in the community, I realize as Black people, we're not always together. They always say that Blacks are like a crab in a barrel. They always, when one person going up, they try to pull them down, and it happens so much, but a lot of it stemmed from a lot of what went on years ago. So that's part of, I would say, a generational curse, but we got to break that. We got to break that, and only way healing will come to us if we connect to the Lord, and the Lord will direct us and guide us. If we give our heart to him, I say all the time that the greatest success is knowing Jesus Christ. And when you know Jesus Christ, everything that you would desire, everything that you want for your life, it will all fall into place. I mean, heal your mind, heal your heart, heal your spirit, and so and also God, even though we talk to God, sometimes we want to talk to someone, directly. That's why he has professional people out there, counselors who can talk to you. So one of the things I wanted to develop when I asked the Lord to do this ministry, I wanted to go beyond church. That's why he gave me the name Women and Men of Excellence Outreach Ministries, because God is excellent, and everybody to be on that, to flow in him, and reaching out to others is so important. So one of the aspects of what our ministry entails is to empower them to greatness, empower them to be all that they can be. And individual counseling is important, as well as you have couples counseling. If you have issues with marital situations, it's always good to talk to somebody, hear another point of view, outside the box. Come out of your environment, come out to your comfort zone, so to speak. And family, teen, because we all got issues. We all go through things, especially now. We need healing. We need counsel. We need therapy. Some of us need somebody to sit down, because therapy empowers you. Counsel kind of give you a direction, but therapy empowers you to build your mind and to have you expand. Expand, go into expand your mind, allow you to do what you are destined to do, because we all destined for purpose. And I find a lot of women and men too, they do have a lot of low self-esteem. I've been there. So a lot of things have happened. So they need really a lot of healing. Healing is essential, especially in the time that we're in right now.
Listener question. We have a listener question that just came in asking, how is your organization positioning itself to help empower your community, Apostle, and who does your organization serve?
Okay, well, we are working on set up a state-of-the-art facility where we can service everyone in the community from all walks of life. And we are looking at ages 16 to 24. I had an Excel project that I put out there and that we launched in 2014. And that was to help with the young people, because I find we kind of lose some of young people around between 16 and 24. That's where you kind of lose a lot of them. So they kind of go off in a whole different tangent different areas, so we kind of bring them back. So we want to develop programs. As we talked about the counseling program, we talked about we want to do some culinary arts program. We want to do some vocational arts, vocational training, do some shop classes, teach them plumbing, different things like that. Blue collar work, they have put that out the window. They don't do too much of that in schools anymore. Construction, things like that, hands-on, because I believe that children need to do some hands-on stuff, some hard work. People think it's just going to being a doctor, lawyer, and being all these high-end positions. It's more than that. What about the little things? We gonna always have houses. People need to know how to do some plumbing. Teach these young men, how to do some plumbing, do some changing a lock, something as simple as that. Things like that. So they need to get some hands-on. I even worked as a teacher, a special ed teacher, working with children with special needs. And a lot of those children may not get degrees, as people may think, but if you give them something to work with their hands, and also detailing, changing a car tire. I mean, how many people know how to do that?
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of women know how to do that. Okay. So little things like that. So this is what we're trying to do to benefit the community. And another thing, an idea that came as I was, giving on a monthly basis, giving out those packages. I had an elderly lady came to me and she said to me, because where we stand to give out the packages, we're believing God for that building. And she said, can you also put in where the elderly can come? And we can have a place for ourselves as well. I said, that's wonderful. And an idea came where, we can have the young people. It seems like a lot of young people are so disconnected from the elderly. They don't know how important it is, to respect the elderly people. Because most of the, as I taught in school, most of the grandmothers are in their 40s. So nobody sees 40s and 50s. Nobody sees a 70, 80, 90-year-old grandmother. So if we have these programs where we have the young people that come and teach, because some of them are having problems with the technology, so we also going to have a place where people can do learning about technology. So we can have the youth, the young people teaching the elderly folks technology. That's an idea that came to me. And I said, that's something we could incorporate into what we're doing, because I really believe that ministry is not just preaching every Sunday morning, coming to church and sitting down and hearing the message. I believe it goes beyond that. So that's what the plan is. And we're believing God that the bill will come forth. So the vision that we have for this ministry will come to fruition, because we really want to reach the lost at any cost, by any means necessary. And that's what we aim to do.
That is absolutely awesome. Thank you so much, Apostle. We have some comments that are coming in. I just want to say some of that. It said, that is true, Apostle. Support is essential. Another person says, wow, Apostle, this is very inspiring. We usually see this in NGOs, not so much in the churches. If we scroll up, successful family life requires strategic praying. I can never say that word. Intentional praying. And last but not least, head check. LOL. True. Certainly true. Thank you so much, Apostle. Can we show one more time on the screen how people can connect to Apostle Walter's ministry and donate? It's right on wa-moe.org, and all of her information is right there. If you guys could connect and help out with her monthly outreach drive. That's www.wa-moe.org/donate. And there are multiple ways to give, guys. This is an absolutely amazing ministry. And we love you, Apostle, so much. And thank you so much for coming on our show this morning.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me. God bless.
Wow, Jesse, that was a refreshing segment. I am finally back. I don't know what happened to my internet.
Where'd you go, girl?
I don't know. But I'm just happy to be absolutely back right now. So now we go into our brand new segment, Jessie, and that's Voice of Truth. Talk to us about Voice of Truth.
Yes. So if you guys don't know our brand new segment, Voice of Truth, this is where we talk about different areas that is going on in the world, such as COVID-19 vaccines. We have our Ray of Hope. We talk about migration stories. And today, our topic right now, our theme is because observing International Day of Families, our topic is families and new technologies. So the 2021 observance of International Day of Families focus on the impacts of new technologies on the well-being of families. Sorry, guys. Mega trends including new technologies, demographic shifts, rapid urbanization, and migration trends, as well as climate change, have been dramatically shaping our world. Prolonged COVID-19 pandemic demonstrated the importance of digital technologies for work, education, and communication. The pandemic has accelerated technological changes that had already been underway, both in society and at work, including the expanded use of digital platforms and related technological innovations like cloud computing and the use of big data algorithms. And today we have a guest on, a special gorgeous guest, which is my mom. I'm going to call her mom, guys. Not going to say her name. But just want to shout out her because on Thursday she not only this past weekend celebrated Mother's Day, but it was her birthday. And that was a picture of a little photo shoot that she did. So welcome, Mom. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
And,
can you hear me?
Yes, you can hear you.
Okay. Hello. Good morning, everyone.
Morning. So I know, guys, we're talking about new technologies and how, families are connecting and everything like that. And if you guys don't know, my mom, my dad, and I, we all have birthdays relatively close, between April and May. So this year with the pandemic and everything going on, we had to do Zoom, right, Mom?
Yes.
Yeah, Zoom and WhatsApp. My brother's in college, and I'm right now home. But when I'm in Buffalo, we had to do like a WhatsApp kind of thing. Can you talk? Or we could talk together about like the difficulties with that. Was it different? Was it fun? Did you like it? And I know it was different, right? Because we're gonna have all of
it was together. Different, but thank God we have a way of connecting. And through all this pandemic, God has opened doors that weren't there yet, like Zoom. So we were connected even though we were far apart. And like yesterday, I went to a Zoom funeral, and just to see everyone, it's like you're not missing out too much on anything.
Right. Exactly. And it was watching that Zoom funeral with a prominent family member. It connected everyone together.
Yes.
And this person was in the Caribbean, so we had family members from all around, even in the Caribbean, but all around the world.
All around the world, yes, even in Africa.
Yeah, yes. And normally, if the pandemic, I don't want to say didn't happen and like that, but
God works in mysterious ways,
Exactly, because now we have ways to normally would just be through text message saying, this person passed away and you feel sorry, but you don't have a way to really express your condolences or be with the families. But like our family members in Africa, who you felt connected, even though you may not be able to travel to go to that country. I love your shirt, by the way. It's so cute. I need that. But yeah, and Marsha, I don't know about you, if you had any difficulties with if you use Zoom, because I know recently you had a family event. If you guys use Zoom to connect other people together, or
yes, we did. But hello, let's not go that far back. Let's just talk about just a few moments ago when I fell off the podcast, technology issues.
Sorry, guys, my hair is all over the place today. It doesn't want to listen. It wants to be unruly. So, but yeah, it's. I think the times are changing. I don't know if you guys could talk about, if you think this is going to be like a new norm kind of thing, like if weddings or funerals or other big events for families overseas, if this is going to be a new norm where they have like a video package. And we're going to pay you X amount to broadcast it over.
I think this is our new norm. And it's good because, you can connect with everyone. Sometimes people don't have the funds to travel and, you don't need the funds and you don't need to travel anymore. You have Zoom now. We have technology that we can use,
That's true. I recently also was I was a bridesmaid at one of my best friends' weddings 2 weeks ago, actually, 2-3 weeks ago. But because of COVID, I could not attend. They kept it very small, maybe it was 17 people in the church. This is including the priest and the drummer and everything like that. And I was sad to not be there in person because she is someone that I've known since we were 12. But it was still a way to connect. And in my head, I was like, you know what, guys? The ceremony is only an hour. Why are we spending so much money? I mean, I know it's a day, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't mind doing this, keeping it small to 50 people or so. I don't know. And then broadcast to everyone where everyone else can attend. What about you, Marsha? What do you think?
Actually, Jesse, you're actually going in and out, so you may have to repeat that question for me, Kay.
Okay, it said, what do you think when it comes to weddings or Zooms and stuff like that, if this is going to be the new normal?
Well, let's just say it's already happening. As an event planner myself, I recently did a wedding just, let's say, 2 weeks ago. And the protocols in Jamaica currently are that you can only have 15 people. And we're talking about having 15 people plus a production team. And then the next, maybe about 50 or so people watching online. So it is happening. The thing is, we just don't know how long it's going to happen. And we're talking about families, and this is family event. I'm just really thankful that we are still able to connect somehow. And if you would allow me, Jessie, to ask your mom, what has the transition been like for you, having to physically show up to a family event versus now having to rely on technology to connect you as a family?
For me, it's not a big transition because I was always into technology. I love the computers prior to me getting the stroke. I had 2 strokes a couple of years ago. I'm still recovering. But it's not a big transition for me. And now that I can't get out as I used to, it's just the right thing for me right now,
Wow. That is awesome. So in a way, we are thankful because I do know of persons that are still struggling to connect with technology, even a simple phone call, you know. So I definitely want to salute you and applaud you for being we say on top of your game.
Yes, I was always into the computers.
Yeah,
being sick. After I got sick, it was hard getting back into. Just getting online would make me nervous. I don't know why, I had a stroke and what the brain thinks about computers after, but I'm pushing myself and I'm not giving up, with God's help, I'm going to get back even further where I was,
Yeah.
But it's not a big, even with my husband trying to get on Zoom, I would say, oh, do this, do that, do this. And I'm thankful that I still have that with me. I'm very thankful that I still have that with me. Getting online today to get with you guys, I'm like, okay, how am I going to do this? But I did, and I'm here without anyone's help, so God is good, God is good.
Well, we have two questions that came in. One wants to know a little bit about our background, and how we were able to connect people in Caribbean and Africa. And the other one says, virtual may be the solution to economic shortfalls in families and communities. What do you ladies think?
Wants to know my background?
Our background, yeah, Mom.
Oh, I was born in Georgetown, Guyana. I currently live in Westchester, New York. I just don't like going back to that point.
It doesn't have to be in detail. It doesn't be detail.
I was a strong, healthy, godly, took care of my body. And in 2017, I was just getting a lot of headaches. And in November of 2017, I had 2 strokes, seizures. I was at death's door, as my daughter can tell you. I don't know much of it, what went on, but I'm here. And what it's done to me is my relationship with God. I have to depend on Him every moment of the day to survive. I'm able to walk, I'm able to do things and help myself, but I have residual things that I'm going through, and I have to call on Him every minute of the day, so it has brought me closer to Him. I have a personal, intimate relationship with Him now. And I'm thankful for, God takes us in different paths of life, and I'm thankful. The technology part of it, as I said, that was my heart prior to the stroke. And I'm going to get back there. And I haven't lost much because I'm here with you and no one helped me, So I'm thankful.
Yes, and a little bit more about my background. My dad also comes from Guyana as well. And a little bit about me. Was born in Brooklyn, raised there half my life, other half upstate New York. And right now I'm in Buffalo to go back to school. But yeah, I think we connected via Zoom. With family members from Caribbean and Africa. We also had family members in Europe. So we all connected via Zoom, and it was shared during just, a regular Zoom link. And I know what technologies, for the start of it, it was a little touch and go because of the bandwidth issues. You're dealing with the Caribbean and you don't know, the signals, if it's like a phone. So it was a little bit rough at the start. But they got it all together. It was fine. It was cool. It was great seeing other family members because I'm not there to see them, be like, oh, this is this person, that's this person. We have some comments coming in that says, incredible, despite it all, you look fabulous. Look at God, you're glowing. God is very good. Yes. From Apostle Faith Walters, thank you so much. And we have, you are so inspiring. Thank you for sharing your story. Wow, woman of strength, woman of God, from Entrepreneurs Aloud. Yes, Mom, she really is. She really is. She is ride or die, that woman.
And another thing the technology has done, I'm not able to get out and drive by so I'm connected to a church and there are meetings, and I do Bible class on Wednesdays, and there's sister to sister on Saturdays. I have one at 10. So I'm still involved, even though I cannot get out. There are paths, and technology has done this, that I can still see people and get involved. So I'm happy about it. I can't go to church, but I get online and, I do my Bible classes on Wednesdays and prayer service on first Fridays. So I'm involved, even though I'm not out there, So it's been a good time. I embrace it.
Yeah, someone said, yeah, such a positive outlook. And I know eventually I know the church that you go to, Mom, it's small. I think eventually maybe around the summertime it might start to open service, as normal.
Yes.
But I think churches may also just have that duo. This is, the brick and mortar, and then they also have the online, because they're reaching a lot of young people too, and other families that way. So
I am going to miss it when everything is open out, because sometimes I can get on Zoom and I'm in my pajamas.
Right.
No one has to know that.
I don't have to get dressed.
Or
I don't
if
have
the
to look
weather is
good.
bad, I can get on Zoom.
Yeah.
Or if I don't feel well, I can get on Zoom and just don't show my picture or myself, but I'm still there. So I hope that it's still there and used, even though that we're back together.
I think so. We have Apostle Walters that said, yes, technology has certainly connected more and more people. It's a blessing. You go, girl, get in the hang of it. Yes. Mom, you rock. She does rock. And we have another one that came. It is so very refreshing to hear you speak in such a forward-thinking way. A lot of older persons are hesitant to get on board. Such an inspiration you are. Yes. And I do have to say, this person, she's not older. She is young. She is young.
Yes.
Beautiful smile.
Thank you.
I know, Mom, you said your church is about to go, so I don't want you to be late.
That's okay. That's okay. They'll understand. I'm happy to be here, and I wish you guys all the best. Your million mark is coming up.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Thank you so much for that. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Have a blessed day, everyone.
You too.
Thank you. And the same to you, Mom. Bye.
Bye.
Yes, Jessie, that was such a refreshing conversation with your mom. I really enjoyed it. So heartwarming, and just listening to the actual migration story, well, bits of it, from Guyana to the US, and then incorporating International Family Day. Family is such an important thing, although there are various definitions for family, and how we connect with each other is important, and making the actual effort to connect. And I know for persons who are older than we are, for some of them it may have been a challenge, but we are definitely seeing the benefits of connecting online. Powerful first segment, Jessie.
Yes. And we're going to move on from that to our ray of hope for our voice of truth. And the topic is next generation female code breakers, hashtag Black Girl Strong. If you guys could go in the comment and just hashtag Black Girl Strong for us, keep on doing that. And this topic is because girls from schools across the UK have been competing in the National Cybersecurity Centre's Cyber First Girls Competition. And these tasks include ethical hacking, cryptography, decoding, and logic tasks. And the competition's aim is to encourage girls to consider a future in cybersecurity. And we were just talking about cryptocurrency, guys, and if you guys have your young women, teach them about this. Maybe, start ministries or just start classes really with technology, because this isn't going away. And we need more and more people that have the ability to do various things in tech. I don't know if we could pull up the video here of what's going on in the UK. Are we able to, producers in the back?
Yes, we can. We can, but in the meantime, let's talk about the article itself before we do the video. So there's a contest that inspires next generation female code breakers, and what's so amazing as the video comes up is that these are not just girls, but these are really young girls that have been selected. But you can go ahead and tell us more about that, Jessie. Really awesome.
Yeah, so these young girls, when Marsha means young, these are 12 to 14 years. And I think the power behind it is that that's at the perfect age where you're starting to slowly learn yourself.
Yes.
And are inquisitive of what's going on in life, and you're starting to look at people, you're starting to look at mom and dad as humans and not like superheroes, and but like we were talking about in the show, when it comes to cryptocurrency and just building business and empowerment for the Black family,
Black enterprise, yes.
Right, Black enterprise, this is evidence of this. Because this is, I don't think, we're highlighting what's going on in the UK, but this is something that needs to be done across the world, worldwide, because sorry guys, allergies are coming up. But it is empowering, and that is one thing that we were talking about Black enterprise is we need more Black empowerment, and especially female. Just like Coach Raquel said, that it's Black females that are, really doing the movement and doing the businesses and stuff like that. It's Black females, and that also just shows the strength of us. You could go back in history of why that is, but the strength of us having that education, having that drive, having, the want to do better for ourselves. And once you educate one, and once you educate the maternal figure, you'll educate future generations.
Definitely. So, Jessie, this is the National Cybersecurity Center's first girls competition. The video is ready. So let's take a look and see what's going on.
Take a look.
It involves solving puzzles to do with coding and logic, cryptography, cybersecurity and networking, and it's really fun.
The competition promotes the idea that girls can code.
Here I am today. It's officially competition day and I'm very excited.
We're going to also give the teams some top tips.
In the semi-finals, we could see the leaderboard, and I remember everyone was rushing to do more challenges.
12 and 13-year-old girls from across the UK have been competing in this year's challenge, which has moved online. You may think that's where it should be anyway, but it is a collaborative and creative process.
We need to succeed at our mission to keep the UK safe, to keep people who live in the UK safe to work and live online. And we need all kinds of people to do that, just to represent the society that we're working for, but also to get all of those different perspectives. And girls sometimes bring a different perspective.
And some would argue that women have a real knack for it.
Women are good at linguistics, which makes them irreplaceable at any natural language processing services. They're also very attentive to detail and good at pattern recognition and overall patience, which are requirements for any computer science related job.
And with an abundance of all those qualities, this year's contenders are certainly feeling the pressure. Having battled their way through ethical hacking, cryptography, decoding, logic tasks, and much more. Whilst waiting to find out who wins this year, I spoke to an ex-finalist who's now studying cybersecurity at university. And because she set on a career in the field afterwards, we had to keep her identity under wraps.
I think definitely because it's computing, there was more pressure to do well because I got to prove myself because I'm a girl. It's just that initial leap and then I was hooked. You see all these women who are very inspirational and you want to live up to them. And you don't want to let all the other women down, and you want to help inspire the young people yourself.
Back to the competition, and the moment of truth is upon us.
I really enjoyed the logic and coding ones, but I also really enjoyed cybersecurity because it required you to think in different ways and use different methods of hacking into some fake websites.
Really makes you think of how easy it actually is to access other people's data and how important it is to keep your data safe.
Had to connect a circuit board, and then once you covered your hand, it would start beeping, and we figured out that those beeping were Morse codes, so like dots and dashes, and we wrote those down and found out what those were.
In the cryptography sections, so if you ever needed to send like a coded message to someone, I learned a lot of different types of codes. After the competition, like a cybersecurity job is now like an option for me.
All right. So we are inside a very special highlight segment, Jesse, where we are about to launch something here on UME Radio that is super spectacular, super special. And here to speak with us about that today is Jody and JB McFarlane, and she is a recording artist, worship leader, and now the brand new host of the UME Radio Kids podcast. Yes. We are definitely taking ground here at UME Radio, and we're super, super excited to have her in studio with us today. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
It's so good to have you. How excited are you this morning?
This excited.
I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. So before we get into the actual questions, and just if you have questions, let me know. Let us know. We'll plug them in as well. Why children? I mean, you're a recording artist, and now you're about to collaborate with UME Radio to launch the UME Radio Kids podcast. Why children?
All right. It's a passion that the Lord has given me for this season in my life. So I'm just embarking on it. We just came out of, and for some countries we're still in quarantine, and the children has been locked away, and all of that. So it's sowing into the kids' life. Sowing into the kids' life. So I think it's just a beautiful opportunity to be the person, to be the one to sow in. So I think it's just a wonderful feeling. I'm excited. I'm excited about it's like a teacher, you teach your kids at school, and then you see them, when they grow up, they're a lawyer, they're doctors, there's so many things. So that give that teacher, that beautiful feeling, and say, yes, I did a good job. So
yes, thank you so much for that. So we know the objective of the kids program is really to help kids connect with biblical principles that they can use in their everyday life. Now, one of the biggest things with kids is that they love music, absolutely. And so with that being said, you currently have, because you were on the show with us before where you talked about your children's competition. And so that's one of the elements we know that you're going to be plugging into the UME Radio Kids podcast for this time frame. But let us know before that, what time is it? And tell us a little bit more about when they can tune in.
All right. So that means for the program, right? Or for the
Yes,
competition.
for the program, correct.
Okay. All right. So the program is 11 a.m. Eastern time. All right, and 10 o'clock Standard Time. All right. So I have to make that clear because the time frame, it can get a little bit mixed up. All right, it can get a little bit mixed up. So I actually start the program today, and I'm really
Awesome.
excited, really excited about it. So today I'll be featuring two of the kids today, and you guys have to tune in to see that. It's gonna be amazing. They're going to sing. It's gonna be amazing. So you guys have to tune in to see these beautiful kids singing. It's gonna be amazing.
All right. And we're so excited to support you in this venture, and to actually pour into the lives of kids. What do you hope will be the effect of the program for children who tune in?
The impact.
Yes.
Impact in their lives, and for them to just, for instance, my aim is to sow the seed. And once the seed is there, it's my duty also to water the seed, right? So it can flourish. So that's it.
Yes, so you're hoping that they will grow into strong trees, figuratively speaking, strong spiritual trees. And, we just can't wait to tune in to our UME Radio Kids podcast. So now I know you're right here right now. So I want you to take a moment to just speak. Well, before we do that, let's go to the comments. I have my screen to the side, and let's see what we're having. Just gorgeous and pure energy, Auntie Jody. So excited, great energy. And we are excited too. Can't wait for the fun to come. LOL. And yay! Yes, love it. Absolutely beautiful. So I want you're looking in the camera already. Go ahead, talk to the parents and tell them why they should send their kids over to UME Radio Kids podcast with Auntie Jody.
Okay. So, guys, this is on my heart. My heart is so full. My heart is so full of energy, so full of life, and impacting the kids. It's for me, it's my heart's desire in this season. It's my heart's desire in this season. So guys, just send your kids out. I know that it's gonna be impactful, and I'm going to be sowing into your children, and this is going to help them to submit themselves to God at an early age. So guys, I am excited, and I want you to be excited about this too. And I know that they're going to be excited as well.
Wow, thank you so much for that, Jody. Well, we have a comment coming in. It says, let it out, mama. Don't hold back. We need more of you. Children make up approximately 50% of sex trafficking victims. We need children's ministry. And that is a very powerful sentiment. And now that your voice is being amplified through our network, UME Radio, we just can't wait to see what God is going to do in you, through you, with the kids that are coming on. And just before you go, Jody, talk to us about what kind of kids, the kids age group that can enter the competition, because it's a part of the kids program. How can they submit their entries? What that aspect of it is about?
Okay. All right. So I have three different categories for the children's competition. And before I go into the categories, right? So the kids they do a cover of my single, My Soul Says Yes. It's very easy. It's a beautiful song. It's a real easy song. Right. By the time you start the song and to the end, you can sing the whole entire song. So that is how simple the song is, right? So the three categories are 3 to 6, 7 to 10, and 11 to 14. All right, let me just pause for a moment. I've been getting a lot of it. We're not extending it from 15 and to 16, but not extending it for the bigger kids. But I want the focus to be more on the younger children. All right, so please forgive me if you're not able to enter the competition because you're 15 or 16. 15 or 16, so just please forgive me for that. All right, so the main prize is 100 US. All right,
Yeah.
so also anyone that enters, it's gonna be a surprise. So I'm not gonna tell you what you're gonna get. I'm not gonna tell you what you're going to get, but it's gonna be a surprise. And
That's
also
awesome.
the program, also the competition ends the 29th. All right, so hopefully by the ending of next week, I'll be uploading all the videos that you guys are anticipating to see these kids singing. I'll be uploading all of that by the weekend, next weekend.
Yes, and then understanding that even though you'll be uploading the videos, you need to tell us how the voting is. Well, they'll have to check out the kids podcast to see how they're going to vote, how the voting process goes. But every week leading up, there are other activities within the podcast itself. But for this particular aspect of the podcast, you will have these kids coming on live. So you won't just see their recordings, their creative recordings, but you will also have a chance to sit down, have conversation with them, see what's going through their heads. And listen, Jesse, I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. All right. So we are speaking with Auntie Jody. If you're just joining us, thank you so much. You are inside Weekends with Marsha, J, and Jesse, and now Auntie Jody, and she is the brand new host of the UMERADIO Kids podcast. Any final words, Auntie Jody, before you go?
Please join me at 11 a.m. It's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be beautiful. You guys you can't afford to miss it. Cannot afford to miss it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, and see you on the other side of 11 o'clock, right? 11 o'clock this morning. Yes. All right. Now you can stay right here, stay in tune right here with us as we bring our very first episode of UMERADIO Kids podcast with Auntie Jody. Absolutely phenomenal. It's going to be amazing. If you have kids that are watching, have them sign up. Watch the first episode. You'll get the instructions, and then we take it from there. And of course, we're going to be having powerful kid stories, quiz, and other exciting things happening. But you have to tune in to find out more. I'm not saying anymore. Jesse. All right. So it was Mother Teresa. Oh, we have our next segment. My script jumped for a minute because we can. Right? So in this segment is where we celebrate creatives. And this week we have a powerful interview with a recording artist out of Canada. And his name is K. Anthony. And we're about to go into that interview right now. Hey, Jessie.
Hey, girl.
Listen, it's been an awesome morning so far, and I don't know, it's just been really, really good.
It's really good. I absolutely love it. And what we're going into next is our talent portion, which girl, is like my favorite portion. One of my favorite portions, I should say,
I
of our
know.
show. It's so good. And we have our awesome guest here. So let me tell you guys a little bit about him because he's really, really cool. So if you guys don't know, if you guys are new joining in, just listening, a little bit about our talent portion. This is where we discover, reveal, and apply lessons that we learn from talent. And today we have recording artist and Juno Award nominee Kay Anthony. So a little bit about the Juno Awards is that, well, it all started as the RPM Gold Leaf Awards in 1964 by RPM editor and publisher Walt Grelis and record label executive Stan Cleese. Soon became the Juno Awards in 1971. Named in tribute to Pierre Juno, the first chairperson of the Canadian Radio, Television, and Telecommunications Commissions, CRTC, the Juno Awards were founded to raise the public profile and recognition of musical artists in Canada. The Juno Awards have evolved from an industry awards event to a weekly long festival that travels city to city across the country. It encompasses both public-facing fans events and industry networking opportunities featuring a diverse array of Canadian artists and emerging talent. In addition to the Juno Awards broadcast, Juno Week event programming includes Juno Songwriters Circle, Juno Fest, Juno Fanfare, Juno Cup, and you can learn more about that at junooawards.ca. Now, our awesome guest today is Kay Anthony, who has been nominated for the Juno Awards for contemporary Christian or Gospel Album of the Year for the album titled The Cure. Kay Anthony is also the first native of Jamaica to be nominated for this award, and it's so exciting for Jamaica to have the very first native of Jamaica to be nominated for this prestigious award. Also, Kay Anthony released a new song titled Free on February 12, 2021, which has been doing amazing. This melody reaches your heart and brings you a sense of inner peace. Kay Anthony's music has been such an inspiration to many people. It's that kind of music that gives you goosebumps as the words resonate with you. And we want to say first, thank you so much for coming on our show, Kay Anthony. It's such an honor to have you here.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Yes, we really, really are excited to have you this week, and we're looking forward to this awesome interview. So tell us a little bit about your roots and tell us, who is Kay Anthony?
Kay Anthony. I was born in Montego Bay, Jamaica. I grew up in Falmouth, Trelawney. My parents, Beverly and Rallin Fowler. I have only one sibling, and his name is David. He studied mass communication. I ended up studying music. At first, my first love was track and field. Many persons don't necessarily know that. However, my mom didn't think that I was going to be able to focus. As a result of that, I went to a private institution called Harrison Memorial High in Montego Bay. After I graduated, I had the intention of becoming a agronomist, something that have to do with agricultural science and soil testing. However, since they weren't accepting anyone at the time, my mom asked if I've ever thought of studying music, at least doing it for a year. So that's how I ended up at Northern Caribbean University, where I studied music, and I also did a degree in communication. I love to travel. I love experiencing new things. I love being in the studio. Probably one of my favorite things to do is to be in the studio with like mind people writing. And I love to have a good time, but I'm also a bit reserved at time. Yeah, so that's a little bit about me. After Northern Caribbean University, I was signed from early. That's something that many people don't know. I was signed to a label at the time called Message Music while attending Northern Caribbean University. Did my first tour with a group called Caris. Outside of representing the university inquiries, I did my first tour in 2006, and after that didn't go so well. I started managing on my own career from then on, which took me some time to understand the business aspect of it. At that time, I became a teacher. So I taught music both at my alma mater, Extension Campus Studies, and also at a high school called McGrath High School in St. Catherine. So I ended up in teaching how, I don't know, but I was successful at it. In 2011, the runner-up song that was sung in the JCDC adult competition when it comes to gospel was written by myself, and the person was actually my student. Yeah, I know I probably sound old, but I'm not that old. But that person was my student, and I developed a more passion for writing from early, and that I would say motivated me to even push more into writing. I ended up working with a producer in Jamaica by the name of Dwayne Wire Campbell, a phenomenal guy, and I started building from there, from what was left off from the fact that I was signed early and I had to come out of that contract, and have been working ever since.
Awesome, awesome. You spoke about being an indie artist. What's the difference between, or what are the differences you have found between being an indie artist and an artist that's signed to a label?
An indie artist has more control. In terms of release dates, who they want to work with. Whenever you're signed to a particular label, you have some level of control, but not a lot. They will be able to dictate to you when you release, who you work with, and stuff like that. So that's one of the main things. Being an independent artist in comparison to being signed to a label. You don't have the first say. Your say might matter depending on who you're signed with. However, their idea of what they see of you or where they want to get you comes first.
Awesome. Just checking my messages here. So we have a message from our audience. What are the lessons that you've learned between teaching music and actually being an artist?
Well, that's hard to say. I was first an artist, I would say, before even becoming a teacher, because even before leaving university, I was deeply involved in music. I would record I would leave from here in Jamaica called Mandeville, Manchester, to Kingston area, specifically Portmore, to record almost every other Wednesday or almost every Wednesday. That was how I got signed, because I was actually renting the facility.
Okay.
So what I've learned is pretty much, I've learned to persevere. I've learned to bounce back from the hard times. Some stuff I just won't get into because I've forgiven whomever was a part of certain situation that I had early in my career. But I've learned that you need to understand the business of music. I have to understand the business of music. I studied music. So it would be very bad of me not to want to understand the mere fact that I'm investing in the talent that God has given me. How can I recoup? So I've learned to persevere. I've learned to pray hard. People will see you and have perceptions. So they will think that life is perfect. And the reality of it is they don't know how much hard work you have to put into it. So one, you have to know what God has given you, what God has laid on your heart. And in so understanding, you have to then say, how am I going to get this done? Now, the best thing you could ever do for yourself is to consult whom gave you the purpose. And so I had a lot of fights with God while being in university. I would cry. I would say, why is this not working out? Why is this not? People don't even understand. So this interview is a very good one for me, so people can probably get a little bit more insight into who I am as a person, because people have a perception of who they think I am. One, because I was involved in modeling, I was involved in fashion, but they don't know my passion for soul winning, my passion for bringing a message of hope to people, a passion for letting people know who's my God.
Yeah.
And yeah, I hope I answered your question.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. I believe, Jesse, you have some questions for him as well.
Yeah, we do have some questions coming up. I do have one question / comment talking about your passion for God. For our listeners who are listening and not viewing right now, you have a Jesus over COVID sweatshirt on. Can you tell us? It's really good. The COVID part is scratched out, guys, in red. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Or I don't know, like what made you buy it? It's cool. It's a cool shirt.
I actually didn't buy it, you know. I haven't been doing so well, so you guys need to pray for me. So actually, this merch was sent to me to do a shoot. So it's funny, when I came in here, I saw it and I said, you know what? I'm gonna put it on.
Yeah.
But I'm actually supposed to do a shoot in this, probably exactly how you see me look at this point in time. And I haven't been able to get to it yet, but I'll hopefully next week, so I can get off the photos to this company that wanted me to do some merch for them.
Okay, awesome. Okay, we have a couple more questions. So one is, what influences the lyrics of your song? What do you want your listeners to experience when they listen to your music?
Truth, transparency. Probably that's why I don't talk too much sometimes, because I'm very transparent and I will say it as how it comes. The Christian walk isn't the easiest of walk. However, if we submit, it makes it easier. And a lot of times the issues that we face, the challenges that we go through, is as a result of not submitting early to God's. Sometimes God will give you a little thing that He's saying, hey, I need to get your attention here. Sometimes we take long to fall into that path. So I want young Christians and young people and people in general to develop a true passion and a true love for Christ. Have a real relationship, a genuine relationship, like how we are conversing at this point in time. Understanding that God is real and it's not a figment of your imagination. And I think if we develop that relationship, the more that relationship grows, we'll tend to have this respect for Him, where we'll be reverent in His presence and understand that He's an awesome God. So it all boils on for me in our Christian walk, as in developing a relationship with Christ. I want young people to know that if you fall, you can rise above that hurdle. I have fell many times in my life, but the good thing is that I have accepted God's mercy and moved forward instead of staying in the same position. I want young people to know, and people in general to know, that the best decision they could have made is to accept Christ.
Awesome.
That's beautiful.
Awesome. We do have another listener question. Well, a listener comment first. True, he is real, not mystical, not a fantasy, but very real. And then we have another listener question. Says, how old is he?
Well, that's going to be one that I'm not going to share. I don't hide it because it's there if they want to find out, but they can find out.
All right.
Google, guys. Simple Google.
Yeah, go ahead, Jessie.
Okay, so we have another question that says, how intentional do you have to be to achieve your success? And what are some things that people may not understand, to dive a little bit more deeper into the business of music versus business as other businesses? I don't know, let's say retail, them starting their own business or something like that.
Oh, intentional. One, you have to know if this is what God has set out for you to do, else you'll be kicking against a stone. From early, I had should I tell them this? So from early, I had a plan for my own, should I say career or ministry? Actually, I saw it beyond where I'm from. And people might say, you probably think that you're better than, I don't think I'm better than anyone at all. However, I grew up listening to certain genres. I was never more inclined to my genre within my country. That's always what was interesting. And so when I started doing music, because at that point in time when I was interested in music, I didn't think of doing music professionally. As I said, the way I got into music was as a result of not being able to attend that particular university and starting out doing planning to do 1 year of university studying music and then switch to the other university. I want to make sure I'm answering your question.
No problem.
Can you repeat so I can make sure that what I'm going to give is right?
Yep. So the question was, how intentional you have to be to achieve your success?
Yes. So you have to be a strategist, very strategic. I studied the market of music from early, meaning I would make observation of different artists that I'm interested in. Look at their approach. I have tons and tons of connection that I've built over the years, which would blow people away, that I built my own connection list in various countries. So you have to be very strategic in doing music. I believe you should be a student of the word. You should spend a lot of time studying, because if it's like, what is filling this man? What is filling this vessel? Whatever is filling the vessel is what is going to be poured out. So if nothing has been poured into the vessel, nothing good will come out of it.
Yeah.
Or if you're feeding your mind on things that you shouldn't be, what you're pouring out won't be as potent. Hopefully I'm making sense. And so if you're spending time studying the word or having conversation about your love relationship with Christ, it will be able to be seen. And that has to be intentional. You have to be intentional in spending time with God, so that whatever you're presenting to the world is that.
Yeah.
Okay.
May I ask a question? I'm the DJ. I'm DJ Kelly. And as I'm listening to you speak, yes, and I'm watching the process you're going through to even answer the questions. It's very intentional. And so I'd like to, if the host will allow me, just to add an addendum to that question.
Yes.
I like that you're saying, you have to be a student of the word to really represent God through music, especially in an industry. The music is an industry that it's very influential, right? And it also is greatly influenced, right? Oftentimes I see ministers or persons who are artists saying they're gospel artists. Yes. And I don't know how intentional they are or how seriously they take that call, because I think sometimes when we do work, quote unquote, for God, we just do whatever we can. If I go to work for the man, I have to go study for years, a degree, and then I come out and then I get a job and I go through orientation and I go and I invest in getting the right clothes to wear to work. And this is me working for the man.
Mm-hmm.
But do we do that when we're working for God? How intentional are we? I'll say this. I've looked at your Instagram account and I saw intention. I don't know if that's what you intended us to see, but I saw intention. I see you being very intentional about how you position yourself as an artist, right? And that's one of the reasons I do what I do. I went to NCU too. I'm very proud of it. I did media too. And so one of the things that I am very, my call is, I'm a divine purpose investor, and I believe that God has called us at a time like this to work with faith-based persons to position their ministry to stand up against the world's ministry, because it's a ministry they're doing too, right? They're very intentional with it, and they're very, they fund it, and they're intentional, and they work it, right? I'm getting to the question, but I feel sometimes like when I hear sometimes we've had persons we say, okay, come, let's do an interview. And they're all over the place. And I don't know how seriously we take it when we walk out and say, I'm a gospel artist. What does that mean to you? Is it any different from if you say, oh, I'm a country music artist, or I'm a this artist, or I'm a songwriter? Is there a difference when you say, I am a kingdom champion? I come with a ministry for God. Does that influence your decisions, the way you represent yourself, the way you represent your music, the investment, the intention? And if it does, then maybe you could speak to the person who does have a gift but is not taking it as intentional. I love that you said that God is real, He's not some mystical fantasy. He's absolutely real. So that's my question.
Thanks. Okay. So I appreciate your comment and your kind words. I'm very, very intentional about every single thing I do, especially when it comes to my music. Nothing is by accident that I put out when I put it out. Mm-hmm. What I'm putting out, none of it comes by accident. We all know the story of the talent. Now, I'm undeserving of even trying to represent God in any way.
Grace.
That's the reality of it. Yeah. However, His mercy and His grace is why I even do this. Because He thinks with His covering, I'm worthy. I could give you many stories why I decided, because I didn't have to. We have a choice, and there were a point in time when I thought of doing something else. But each time I tried to think of doing something else, it's almost like something was lost inside of me. So this is you guys are getting some stories that probably a lot of people have not gotten. So this is how intentional I am. I would work 3 jobs to make sure that the quality of what I put out represents God first and myself after. Some of it was good because after a while you do get tired. As I said, first you have to know as a person, is this what God desires of you? Because sometimes we do things thinking that this is what God wants for our lives, and this is not what He wants. Now, since He has given you this talent, what are you going to do with it? How are you going to nurture it? I decided, outside of the fact that I went to university, to do some more work outside of that, because I wanted to build what He has given to me. So it doesn't come easy. So you have to work. So I'd go to this voice class here. I would partner with different persons to improve on my writing. We cannot do it we cannot be working for God and just do it in any way. You're representing the King of Kings. And I'm not just saying that. If we're going to do it, you have to do it to the best of your ability. Means that you're going to invest the time and the effort and the energy into it. The best version of who you, it's a cliche thing, but this is a reality. You're supposed to give the best version of yourself. And the best version of yourself is simply working to the best of your ability, acquiring all the possible knowledge that you can acquire to build what God has given to you. And that is how the story of the talent really reveals itself, in the sense that talent was given. What have you add to it? What have you done with it? Did you go and search for more knowledge and then build on top of that, or did you just say, "Oh, it's not enough"? I'm not the best vocalist. I knew this from the get-go. I'm not the most handsome person, so I present myself well. And something I learned early is to partner with people who have something that complements what I have, and who is interested to build what I have so I can present it to the world. Not sure if I answered your question. Hopefully I did. But being intentional is not just saying you're intentional. Intentional meaning you understand your purpose. You're working in your purpose. And it might not happen overnight, because I shed a little tiny bit of tear when I was nominated. Because I've been doing this for a while and I've never been nominated for nothing. I'm not doing it for nomination, but people will say they're having the award show, and as a human, and I'm being, as I said, I'm being transparent. As a human being, you'll feel like you're not appreciated or what you're doing. There's a little noise that will come at times. That's the reality. But
Awesome interview there with K. Anthony. Powerful interview. And this is just part 1 of the interview, because he has some very profound things to add. And we were really, truly appreciating him coming by. And so next week, we are going to continue with part 2 of that powerful conversation, Jessie. Very powerful.
It is really good. I loved having him as a guest here.
Yes.
And
yes.
Before we wrap things up here, but stay tuned, guys, because we told you 11 o'clock. we are going to have our children's podcast. We're going to go straight into our categories real quick to end the show
Yes.
real quick. And the
Hold
letter
on.
is I. You ready?
Let me go get my pen real quick.
Okay. All right. While we
All
wait.
right. Here we go. I'm back.
Okay.
And today's letter is that an L or an I?
I'm going to say I.
It's an I. Okay.
Okay. And our producer says to do it live. Okay. So we could go back and forth.
No problem. All right. If you want to join in with this game, the timer is about to start. All you have to do is write down as many answers as possible where the letter is concerned. We're going to do N. Okay, great. Let's do N. And at the end, you can tell us in the comments how many words you got with that letter. All right. So let's go.
Items in a vending machine. Nut bars.
Nuts, not necessarily nut bar, but nuts. Yeah.
Honeymoon spots.
Nevada.
And pass.
Oh, girl. Where are you from? New York. Let's go. School supplies. Yeah. School supplies. With an N. I can't think of any. Pass.
New loose leaf. Footwear.
Footwear. There are not many things you can wear on your foot. I'm passing on that one too, Jessie.
Can I make it? Nice sandals.
Creative answer. Cool. No problem.
Something you're afraid of.
When I was small, nighttime.
That's good. That's a good one. Gnomes.
Gnomes? Yeah, gnomes are in. Yes.
Appliances.
Negligee. No, like it's not an appliance. Oh my God! Where did I even get that?
That's a different kind of appliance.
All right. Appliances with an N. Appliances with an N. Nutcracker. It's kind of an appliance.
Articles of clothing.
Our neck scarf.
Necklace.
Good one.
Gifts or presents. Oh, that would have been a good one for that. Gifts or presents.
Time.
That's it. All right, guys. How did you guys do? What's some other subjects? School subjects? Terms of endearment? A girl's name? Oh, that's easy. Foods you eat raw. What food you eat that starts with an N? Raw.
I don't know. What time is up? We have to go. And in closing this morning, we want to look at our picture of the day, and we want to talk about Black love. And this was sent in to us. I am trying to find the narration that goes with it, Jessie. But Black love is something that will always remain strong because we are advocates for people of color and us being the best version of ourselves. Definitely. And I'm still trying to find it, but if I don't find it, we have approximately 3 to 5 minutes. Oh, there we go. And I have it here. And it says Black wealth, Black unity, Black power. All right, we're about to bring that up in a second. Oh, there we go. Black wealth, Black unity, Black power. We must first have Black love. A very powerful sentiment and an awesome way to close out our program today. Yay, Jessie. Yes. And so with that being said, you want to take the closing today?
Yes, it is awesome, you guys, to have you guys on our show, Weekends with Marsha, J, and Jesse. We both hope that this program was so inspiring, educational, and motivational. I know it really was for me. We want to say thank you again to all of our partners, sponsors, and all of our listeners around the world. And guys, stay here. Don't go anywhere, because we want you guys to tune in with your kids. This is going to be every Saturday now at 11 a.m. for adventures, entertainment, Bible stories, digital enterprise education, and so much for the young kiddos, guys. This show is about family empowerment, Black power, and ownership, starting with emancipating our minds, the minds of our kids for divine purpose. And I'm so excited for our upcoming podcast, Marsha.
Yes, I'm super excited. And we're about to start in the next couple of minutes. So don't go anywhere, like Jesse said. Stick and stay tuned. Call all the kids around the computer. If you're listening, call them around the radio or your device so that they can actually listen to what is about to happen. Something amazing is about to happen with Auntie Jody here on UME Radio. So see you next week, same time, same place, right here on Weekends with Marsha J and
Jesse.
Bye, guys. Take care. All right.